name is Adam Potvin. I'm asking for $500,000 in exchange for 50% equity in my company, Adam Potvin Enterprises. Now, I hail from a place in Vancouver called Commercial Drive. My father had a store there where I would often spend entire summers with him. I remember one day he took me into the back of the store and said, "Son, if you want to make it in business, you have to have something that people want." That's why since that day I always carry with me a diamond. But unfortunately today I only have one diamond and there are 6 investors. So I've come up with something better, an idea. And like a diamond, a good idea needs to have 3 things. It needs to be multifaceted, it needs to be sharp, and it needs to be clear. Now I believe my idea here today combines all 3 of those things. It's the perfect example of a disruptive technology. It's going to change the world as we know it. Now I've invested all my savings and borrowed hundreds of thousands into this idea because I believe it'll be worth it. Because nothing combines innovation and practicality like Bowser beer for dogs. Now, we all know dogs are rambunctious animals. They love to play in the dirt, the mud. They act kind of like drunkards already. So why not give them the beer to help enhance their experience when they do all of these things? So they can enjoy playing in the mud, catching balls from people when you throw them. Dogs want to have fun just like people do. And nothing is more fun than drinking a beer. Now, you may ask, how does it work? We like to crack our beers open with a can opener or with our hands, and the dogs are simply not meant to do that. So that's why we have these easy to chew off lids, where the dog simply goes up to the beer, and the beer is also plastic. It's not glass, so it's not going to break. So the dog can knock it down, play with it a little bit, and begin to gnaw on the lid, and just kind of rip it off like that. The beer is a specially designed bottle, so it doesn't all pour out at once. So the dog can just kind of suck at it, and eventually it'll get a little buzz. Once it gets going, it'll become more lively when it starts to catch the balls, and a little braver and challenge other dogs, and it really will become more of itself. So I like to buy diamonds, but not everyone does. So who are we going to sell this to? Well, we're selling it to the women who love their dogs, the women that walk around Yaletown with their pet chihuahuas, who want their dogs to enjoy their little strolls. And the spoon right here might be a little drunk right now. And she wants to share the same experience with her dog. So the dog has a couple of beers, she has a few strawberry daiquiris or what have you, and they go on for a nice little tipsy stroll together down the streets of Yaletown. And while she can talk to handsome young gentlemen like this one, the dog can interact with some female dogs or male dogs and get to know some more dogs that way. So now before we go on here, so financials have the ability to make or break an idea. That's why last year I flew to New York, walked down Wall Street, and rounded up the 10 smartest looking people I could, put them into a room, and this is what we came up with. I know at first this is a little of a strange graph to read. Here is our initial stages of selling the product. These are profit margins, by the way. So we start off in the yellow as a sign for, urine, I suppose. Blue is when we're still pretty cold. Green is when we're in the green. And then this is when we're really in the black right over here. This is where we start to make our real money at 500,000 units. This is the hole left by the Christian Dark Ages here. If we were back in the medieval ages, we think our product would really take off. Beers were much more popular back in the day, back in the 1600s, and we feel that if we could go back 500 years, we certainly would, but unfortunately we couldn't. So right now we're right about here. This is where we want to stop selling our product. After that, we're going to invest in a lot more equipment. It's going to be very costly, so our profits dip down a little bit and remain stable for the next 300,000 or so units. Diamonds reflect light. They're only as bright as the light that it reflects. And our idea is only as good as the people that work on it. So who's on our team? Well, we have this 50-year-old man here, and these are all his sons, actually. This is the McRattle family, and they're all a bunch of tech geniuses here, and they've worked extensively with market research on the dogs to find out how best for the dog to intoxicate itself. And this man right here graduated in a PhD in dog studies at the University of New York. So what's going to be the thing that puts us over the edge? What's the X factor? Well, we're not selling it to cats. Cats fight. They're a little bit more prissy than dogs. They're not going to enjoy the beers, and there's nothing really out there for cats. But for dogs are a little bit more like humans, and they like to crack a cold one. So that's why we believe we're really going to succeed. And finally, like Barack Obama here, thank you very much. All my ideas, all my friends have said, this idea is not going to work. I say, well, that's why you're sitting in your parents' basement eating munchies, and I'm here in front of wealthy investors holding a diamond in my hand. Once in a while, a person will come around with a great idea. Steve Jobs with the iPhone, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, and Adam Potvin with Bowser Here for Dogs. So, what are you here? Will you invest in me?
I love the getting your dog intoxicated, loosen up, meet some other dogs.
Yes.
I'm curious, like we're looking at the product, it's non-alcoholic. Can you sort of go into that?
Well, that's what we call the placebo effect here. It's true. I forgot to point that out. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. But you know what? I remember when I was a kid and we played a prank on my friend. We put a load of vinegar and lemon juice and water into a Smirnoff bottle and gave it to him for the house party. And he drank the whole thing and thought he was drunk. So the dog's going to act drunk. We've done a lot of psychological testing with the dogs. It doesn't need to be alcoholic. It's a placebo effect. Next question, Nicole.
I wondered if you've thought about your risk in general. I mean, I'm thinking of so many different factors, from PETA and animal cruelty to liability. I mean, let's say my pit bull gets a little frisky with her golden retriever. I mean, he thinks he's a big guy and he's going to go fight the chihuahua next door. I'm wondering what your risks are in terms of liability and PETA.
Well, we're currently working on a development of accessory products such as tight leashes that hold dogs when they're getting a little frisky or whatever, that hold them stern where they are, that are easy for this woman here to hold even, so that doesn't happen. As well, we're also working with several animal protection agencies, making charitable donations, bumping shoulders with the right people to mitigate those risks. Yes?
That's actually Chris Harrison. She just got dumped in The Bachelor. Why didn't you give her your diamond?
Because I'm trying to propose my investment to you here, not some, shallow woman, if you will. I'm proposing to investors with deep pockets. I'm all about depth. And, and while she doesn't show it, I know you guys have deep pockets, so that's why I'm here today. Yes?
Now, I noticed on your management team that it's a family, and there's many brothers and one sister there. Are you worried at all with sibling rivalry?
Where's the sister?
Is that cat?
I believe they're all brothers.
I think that's... Sorry if I've offended.
Okay, no problem. Well, I went to Wall Street and I saw these guys all getting ice cream together, and I said, hey, they all wear glasses except for these two. They must be pretty smart. I went gave them a few IQ tests, and they scored all at least 165. This is a family of geniuses, and that's what I want on my team, geniuses.
But in terms of sibling rivalry...
Oh, sibling rivalry, that's right.
As they get older?
Competition boosts productivity. I believe in the competitive spirit. So these guys, they're going to have a little rivalry, and they're going to push each other to come up with better ideas for this beer and other products down the line for Adam Potvin Enterprises.
Can I inquire about your distribution? So where is this being sold? How do I get it?
Well, currently we're going into markets where there are lots of dogs. So Yaletown, like I was talking about, where Chihuahuas are the hottest, item on the streets. So we're currently, doing market research to find out where people like to have dogs, where there are lots of families, as well as, Vancouver's west side, out in the suburbs as well. Currently we're just in Canada, but we're planning to expand down in the States in about 8 months. Afterwards, we hope to go international over to Europe, but our market research indicates that dogs aren't as popular in Europe as they are in North America. So for now, we're just going to keep it into North America for the time being.
And is this in a vending machine or a convenience store?
So it's just going to be in pet stores like Pet Cetera. We're working on a contract with them currently. Vending machines, no. We don't have the rights, or we don't have the distribution network to facilitate that at the moment, but we're going into pet stores at the moment, yeah. Yes?
Just given the plastic bottle and the chewable top, is this product safe for babies? Should they get into it in families?
Oh, definitely not.
No.
Babies should only be drinking breast milk. For one, recommend strongly against babies drinking anything other than that, so this is not made for babies. Although it might be convenient for babies, we certainly want to stop that from happening, and we're going to make sure that parents know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.